We're joined today by Dean Vallve, Chief Operating Officer, newly appointed at Golden Horse Minerals. Dean, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, David, and look forward to the chat.
Firstly, what attracted you to the company and this role in particular?
Yeah, look, there's a few gold development stories out there at the moment, but what really stood out for me with Golden Horse is the massive upside and opportunity. Not only have you got an existing open pit there that mined about 216,000 ounces, the extensive strike, 130 k's in a basically underexplored greenstone belt, really stood out as one of those rare opportunities that I really wanted to sink my teeth into.
You talk about the development potential. What is it about these assets that make them so compelling?
Yeah, look, we've got the Hopes Hill project, as I said, previously mined. The opportunity there, we're targeting pretty aggressively with the RC and the diamond drill bit. But beyond that, there's a number of projects in the pipeline that look really attractive and really appealing. In fact, we've just done a recent regional drill program there. We've touched over 2,000 metres at 3 projects and really keen to see what the results came out of that. And beyond that, our project pipeline is immense. It's ridiculous, to be honest.
And what about the scale and the consolidation of this land holding? Quite unique in this area.
Oh, absolutely. I first became aware of this a number of years ago, I think around 2018, 2019, when I first met with John Jones. And the opportunity there was immense, as I said before. There was a patchwork of tenements and not dissimilar to the Golden Mile back in the 80s with Alan Bond, where it was just collecting all the leases and then getting that consolidation play happening. This is effectively what's happened more recently. And the transaction with the Emerald, where they picked up the Hopes Hill deposit into the company, it really solidified the opportunity there.
You have worked on the development of a number of gold projects here in Western Australia, including the Warrawoona project and its development. What lessons do you bring from that to Golden Horse?
Yeah, look, Warrawoona was an amazing place. It was 25 k's southeast of Mulwala, so literally in the middle of nowhere. In fact, there was a secret World War II airbase there called Corunna Downs. Compare that to Southern Cross. It's 4 hours drive from Perth, or 4.5 from my house. The support there is next level. We've effectively got Kalgoorlie 2 hours away, so a number of drillers, 30,000 people. But the township itself of Southern Cross, good supportive local community, built on mining and farming, so unique perspective there. But fundamentally, really, I'm not going to say it's easy. Nothing's ever easy in mining. But compared to Warrawoona, which had its own challenges, the opportunities at Southern Cross are fantastic insofar as that level of support from Perth or from Kalgoorlie. We've got a daily train service as well, so getting our people in and out in trains as opposed to driving kilometres and kilometres or flying people. It's really a remarkable opportunity at Southern Cross.
And your experience really spans exploration, development, operation. How does that shape your approach as COO here at Golden Horse?
Yeah, it's another great question. I've had the opportunity to work in the exploration space as an exploration geo and all the way through into mining manager roles at Warrawoona and more recently as COO at Brightstar. Fundamentally, the way I view this is in the development space, you need to have a very multifaceted approach. So it's not just let's focus on the exploration, let's not focus on the mining. It's that interaction between mining and exploration, and that's where I guess my happy place is.
And you've had a number of site-based roles. How does that shape your exploration view, I suppose, when looking at the opportunity here at Golden Horse?
Yeah, look, being honest, I was a tons and grade geologist. So a mine geologist was my title, but very much tons and grade. And as I transferred into engineering, as I said, the pragmatic approach is where we really need to operate in. So building up the team, getting things happening on site, it's very much this is where we need to be at the mining scale, but how do we build back from there to today? So always got an eye on the future. And as I said, building the team, building the structures, the systems, the processes to ensure our success for 2026 and beyond.
So looking ahead, the next 6 to 12 months, what does that look like from an exploration point of view, both at Hopes Hill and across the broader portfolio?
We're looking to do a big release out early next year about our plans. I can't tell you all the secrets, but I'm very excited by it. We've got a lot to do. We're building out the team. Our exploration manager starts tomorrow. I can't say the exact amount of RC and diamond metres, but it's going to be very aggressive. And I think if you look through time at the successful companies like Capricorn, Emerald, they've attacked it with the drill bit, and our strategy would very much be the same.
Hopes Hill's been a standout, high grade, close to surface, really delivering what you would hope for from this asset. How do you develop that further, and what does the development pipeline look like for Hopes Hill?
Yeah, another great question. So in the past, bearing in mind I've been with the company 6 weeks, so fresh set of eyes, but we have done a lot of diamond work into it. So we are starting to unlock the structural and the geological story behind it. But our focus for 2026 is really hitting it hard with the RC drill bit in particular. So we have 2 RC rigs drilling at Hopes Hill throughout the entire calendar year of 2026. What that'll do is we'll define up a shallow near surface resource with the intent of open pit mining, getting development studies ready for an open pit mine in the back half of 2026 via a scoping study.
Stepping out further into the regional opportunities, you've got Lakeview, Marionette and Baby Queen. Significant opportunities, but how do you balance development drilling at Hopes Hill versus exploration drilling at some of these regional targets?
Yeah, so as I touched on before in relation to the project pipeline, we do have that advanced exploration asset, which is Hopes Hill. That's a no-brainer to drill that out and get a resource on that, and that's the intent for 2026. Going down the project pipeline, we do have advanced targets like Marionette, Star of Ennuin as a combined entity, Baby Queen, Lakeview, which have all been recently drilled, and in the past, Hakes Find was also drilled as well, which I believe is probably a nice solution somewhere between the earlier stages at Hopes Hill. So we're going to look to do some more test work and projects at Hakes. But wrapping up, there's a number of projects that we are going to aggressively target with the drill bit, which will be released early in 2026. And beyond that, we've got ongoing mapping, sampling, geophysical programs, and early stage geochem work. So from the exploration viewpoint, it's going to be a very dynamic, very broad sort of approach, but just to reflect the level of maturity in our project pipeline. We've got something very advanced in Hopes and a lot of greenfield stuff that we just need boots on ground, get the geophysics, get the downhole EMs, get all the data sets available, and then we'll assess and test it with the RC drill bit throughout the year.
How important is it being well funded and being able to take a systematic approach to particularly the regional program rather than just chasing the next announcement?
Oh, it's a very much a blessing. I can't express how grateful I am for the support of our existing shareholders and the new shareholders that came in the recent raise. But effectively, we're able to look at a calendar year in 2026 and go, this is where we want to target. These are our best chances for success. I think if you compare that to some other explorers, which are more reliant or more hand to mouth, they are chasing that sugar hit, whereas we've taken the helicopter up with 30,000 feet and said, right, these are the targets we've got to test, and this is how we're going to systematically approach that exploration for 2026.
What does success look like? If we're sitting here a year from now, what would success look like from an exploration point of view and development?
Oh, look, I would like to think that, we've got a large-scale mineralised system defined at Hopes, going through the scoping study phase, if not into early feasibilities. Towards Hakes, again, that would be an early stage sort of mineral resource estimate and potentially farming that out to a joint venture partner, not dissimilar to the Selkirk mining JV I was involved with at Brightstar, which returned some pretty good profits to the JV owners. And then closer to the greenfield sort of action is, as I said, building up the pipeline, getting 15 to 20 targets RC drill tested, and that's across the entire 130 k's of strike length we own of the Southern Cross Greenstone Belt. And as I said, getting that ongoing mapping and sampling done so we can kind of get 2027 established as well.
Working with Nick and the broader leadership team, what are some of the skill sets you want to bring to the table as COO?
Yeah, look, I'd start with the chairman, Graham Sloan. He's a fantastic gentleman, really impressed and very grateful and very fortunate to work underneath Graham. Touching on Nick, great character, very sharp operator as well. He's got that contracting background that I'm kind of familiar with. But what am I going to bring to the team? As I said, hopefully a sense of fun. That's important to me. You've got to enjoy what you do, and loving it so far at the horse. But effectively bringing that pragmatic sort of boots on ground sort of approach. So why are we doing this today? Because it's always about tomorrow. Let's not waste time doing superfluous items. It's very much, we're going to build a mining company here. Let's go through the process now. Let's build the roadmap and let's execute.
Talking about regional results, you have released some exciting results from the regional campaign that really starts to paint the picture of the opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. So we drilled over 2,000 metres recently at 3 prospects, being the Marionette, Star of Ennuin trend, Baby Queen and Lakeview. And what we've announced recently is some results from Marionette, Star of Ennuin. That included 10 at 6.8 from 5 metres. Great outcome, near surface, almost outcropping to be honest, and also 5 metres at 5 from a bit further down and 11 metres down hole. The opportunity at Marionette and Star of Ennuin, we've only drill tested 300 metres at strike. There's additional workings, the geochem, the geophysics in particular. It's in and around a BIF unit, a banded iron formation unit, so we can see that it extends for another 500 metres. That hasn't been tested yet by the drill bit, so we're really frothing to get back there in early 2026 to test that out, in amongst all the other regional projects that's in our portfolio.
6 weeks in, a lot's been achieved, but clearly part of a team building the plan for the future. Exciting times ahead, Dean. Thanks for your time.
Excellent, David. Thank you very much for having us at the stable.